Lena always felt someone watching her. At first, she blamed it on paranoia. The dim glow of her bedside lamp would flicker at odd hours. Her reflection in the mirror sometimes seemed off, like her eyes held something else, something darker. Then she started seeing them. It began one night when she scrolled through old photos on her phone. A picture she didn't remember taking appeared, a blurry image of her sleeping. Her stomach tightened. Did someone break in? She checked the doors, the windows. Everything was locked. Then she noticed the timestamp. The photo was taken from her phone while she was asleep. The next morning, she examined the photo again, zooming in. A chill ran down her spine. At the edge of the frame, a faint figure stood in the darkness, staring at her. Her phone buzzed with a notification. A new photo had been added to her gallery. It was another image of her sleeping, but this time it was closer. Her heart pounded. She wasn't alone. That night, she locked her bedroom door and set her phone on the nightstand, camera facing the wall. If someone was taking these pictures, she wouldn't give them anything to capture. At exactly 3:07 a.m., her phone vibrated. A message popped up on the screen. "I love your eyes." Her breath hitched. The sender was her own number. Her trembling fingers hovered over the reply button. But before she could respond, another message arrived. "Let me keep them." The lamp flickered violently, and she swore she heard soft breathing inside her room. The next morning, dark circles clung to Lena's face. Sleep had abandoned her. She deleted the photos, blocked her own number, and even factory reset her phone. But it didn't stop. Each night, new pictures appeared. The figure moved closer and closer. And then, one night, it stood right beside her bed. She avoided mirrors, avoided anything that could reflect. But one day at work, she caught a glimpse of herself in a glass door. Her eyes, they weren't hers anymore. The pupils had turned into tiny beating hearts, blood red, pulsating. Lena stumbled back, nearly knocking over a coworker. No one else saw it, only her. The messages returned that night. "You're almost ready." Desperate, Lena reached out to a tech expert, hoping he could track the source of the messages. After hours of digging, he called her, his voice tense. "Lena, these messages aren't coming from a number. They're coming from your front camera." She threw the phone across the room. It shattered against the floor, the screen blinking wildly. Then the light in the room died. In the darkness, she heard the whisper right next to her ear. "It's time," Lena screamed. The next day, Lena didn't come to work. No one heard from her. But when the police entered her apartment, they found her phone lying on the floor, recording. There was no sign of Lena. But in the last frame of the video, a pair of eyes stared directly into the camera. They were not human. And in the reflection of the phone screen, a faint figure stood behind whoever was holding the camera. Who do you think took the last video? And where did Lena go? Comment your theories below.